What is up, you guys? It's your boy Shady Luke back with another video. I know it's been a hot bit. Sold my MacBook Air, looking for a good MacBook Pro that I like. Need the monies. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about Bryce Huff being traded, man. Because I wouldn't say it's a large deal for Philadelphia. I feel like it's more of a bigger deal for San Francisco. Bryce Huff, he came from the Jets, and there was a lot of I was one of them. I mean, I wasn't overly hype on Bryce Huff, and I didn't really do a ton of research. But I did remember when he played Philly, and I was like, he's solid. I was like, he's like a solid defensive lineman. Like, the one thing with the Jets, and I feel like this has been ever since Rex was the coach, they've had good defensive linemen in New York with the New York Jets. They've had solid and good defensive linemen, whether that's the interior defensive line, a run stopper, outside pass rusher, or just an interior pass rusher. It didn't matter. It always seems like ever since Rex, they've always had, that's been the one part of their defense that's been just solid. Like, they've drafted good there. And yeah, man, Bryce was one of those guys. And the Eagles picked him up. They signed him. They gave him a chunk of change, not like a ton of money. Gave him a chunk of change, and we kind of saw how it played out. Like, he didn't really do anything. Like, he may have one or two play, honestly, if I'm being real with you. And I see it as a win-win for Philadelphia, and I see it for Philadelphia and San Francisco. Philadelphia, you get more cap space. You're paying a little bit, but you're making San Francisco also pay, and increases your cap space, and you're getting a draft pick. And I mean, for Philly, their draft picks they have so many damn draft picks in this upcoming draft. Like, I'm super excited for that. But for San Francisco's side, you have, and I've watched San Francisco. I mean, us Eagles fans, we don't like them. I mean, to be real, we don't like their fans. I don't know. There's some people online, they say it's like a rivalry. I could care less, but I see online our fans are always arguing, and ever since Brock Purdy got hurt in that game, we just don't have a good vibe, right? But for San Francisco's side, I know that they've had a lot of misses and hits when it comes to their defensive line. This last year, going in, there were some of their guys online that I watch, and they were saying how their defensive line is, they're worried about them against the run. And sure enough, some of those guys online, dude, I think it's like some of the main guys that I see some of the other content creators troll, but they know their shit. Like, I see them, they know their shit. Like Grant Conn, freaking Jesse. I saw those dudes and a couple of their other guys. They were saying that they thought that the defense was gonna be really bad in the run game, and they were. Like, they literally suffered in the run game. And Nick Bosa, I don't know how you could say about. I think he was out a couple games, if I remember right, and their defensive line just didn't really have another option, man. Because I mean, Javon Hargrave was kind of that guy. Javon Hargrave got hurt, and just all the other guys. I don't even feel like they were just. I don't know. I feel like. What am I trying to say, dude? I feel like Nick Bosa was really the only anchor on that defensive line, right? And I mean, their linebackers, they got Fred Warner back there. They're waiting for what's his bucket that went to the Broncos. Why am I forgetting? You guys know who exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm forgetting right now. Dre Greenlaw. But yeah, they have a solid defense, man. They have a solid defense. And then San Francisco's defensive backfield kind of interests me because Deommodore Lenoir, I think he's good. I don't really think he's as good as San Francisco fans do, but I do think he's a corner that can give a lot of wide receivers issues, like a lot. And Malik Mustafa, I'm pretty sure he's coming off of injury. He should be ready in first quarter of the season, if I remember right. I don't know about their other safety. That's an issue. And then their other corner, Trevarius Ward, not being there. So San Francisco's defense, they have some holes, and they got a lot of young guys. And they drafted their first 3 or 4 picks, if I remember right. San Francisco fans, check me on this. But yeah, they drafted 3 defensive linemen. They went all defense. And who knows how that goes. Hopefully you want all those guys to hit, realistically, right? But if one or two of them hits. But I've heard a lot of people talk, like John Middlecoff, talking about how this draft is super important for San Francisco. Like they need to hit on this draft. And so, you bring in all those guys, you draft all those guys, but you also need another veteran like presence, you know what I mean, within San Francisco. So they're bringing in Bryce, and I don't know. I don't really know how it's going to work out for them. I mean, they have a lot of hope. They're like, oh, we got Saleh back. Saleh was the one guy that gave him production, and there's a lot of stats in the past that would aid to say not Bryce Young. Bryce Huff is a good and productive pass rusher. But man, the one thing that I'm just so like has me thinking, I'm like, I don't even know if he's good, dude. This last season with Philadelphia, Vic came in as a fresh new defensive coordinator for all those Philadelphia players. This was his first year, okay? And I'd say the first 4 games, you saw a lot of like, everybody just kind of wasn't, just kind of trying to figure out the system. But after those first 4 weeks, dude, everybody bought into the defense. Everybody. He had everybody clicking, dude, right? Everybody on the defensive line. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, okay? Freaking had, we had the guys on the outside. We had Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat. Dude, just everybody. Milton Williams. Milton Williams finally had his, like, breakout season. I feel like nobody knew who Milt was before this last season, okay? You had Jalix Hunt, Mario Jamo. Jalix Hunt was a rookie, mind you. Jalix Hunt is a rookie, freaking pass rusher from the outside. And Mario Jamo is our defensive tackle, second year from Texas. Those guys were also popping off, right? And then on the linebackers, we were waiting for Nakobe Dean to pop off. Nakobe Dean popped off. We were waiting for we didn't know we were getting with Zach Bond. No Eagles fan thought he was going to be that good. I think I saw one guy that was like, oh, it was a good signing. Turns into like one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL, right? And then you got Quinyon Mitchell, popped off. Q already looks like a top 5, top 10 corner. I literally would put him in my top 5. I love observing cornerback play. I would put Q in my like top 7. He's like that damn good at corner. And then you got Cooper DeJean, popped off. CJ had a good year. He came back to Philly. He was playing good. Reed was playing good. So you got like all these people on the Eagles defense playing such good football. And like, I'm not even just trying to say this because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not even trying to be biased, dude. I'm just coming from a football perspective. Every single time I would go back and watch our all 22, and I'm not some like all 22 like freaking like expert. I just love observing, kind of just, trying to spot some things on the field. Every single time I would look at the all 22 and after the game, and every single time I would watch the games, dude, it felt like Bryce Huff was just getting drove into the ground by these tackles. Like, and when he'd stunt inside, dude, it felt like the guards were just like pushing him around, shoving him around. I just felt like he was getting bullied. Like every single time he's getting bullied. And I had hope. I was like, nah, dude, I know he got hurt. And he came back, and I was like, no, dude, like, there's still some hope. No, not with Philadelphia. Not with Philadelphia. And so him going to San Francisco, I know there's a lot of their fans that are like, oh, he has Saleh now. He has Saleh. He should be better. And I'm like, maybe he will. Or I'm like, maybe when he was with Saleh, like the rotational pass rusher he was, maybe that's his gig. And I don't really want to see a lot of players fail in the league, but, maybe for his sake, he's just a rotational pass rusher. He's not an all-down defensive end, you know what I mean? Or outside pass rushing linebacker or whatever. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure they're going to rotate him with their depth. But with Philly, it just didn't work out. And I saw like no positives from him. It was alarming. There was nothing, zilch. And so, I know San Francisco fans, like I said, they have hope. Saleh will bring him back to old form and he'll be good. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I don't really think he's the best just because a lot of those younger guys bought in and, like people will say like, oh, he wasn't a scheme fit. He wasn't a scheme fit. I'm like, maybe, or maybe he's just not as good as some people thought, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but regardless if he's good or not, I mean, realistically, it's a win-win. Just like I said, it's a win-win because like even if San Francisco keeps him, if they give us a fourth though, if they give us a fourth and he's not good, I'm like, that's great value from Howie. Like he kind of got lynched. That's all I'll say about that if that happens. But if he turns out to be good, I don't I don't see any type of way this could be like a loss for Philadelphia. It'd be like, oh well, Howie Roseman made a mistake. It's like, okay, cool. Well, has like hundreds of swings, and in these last 4 or 5 years, it's been like a couple misses. So I don't really see any downside for Philadelphia, but I also don't really see any downside for San Francisco because I mean they're taking on the books, right? They keep him for a year. If he's not freaking working out, they could cut him. But I mean, I don't really know all the details with all the contract, and I don't know all the ifs, ands, or buts. But I mean, maybe they even keep him for a second year to see if it works out, or just somebody for depth. You know what I mean? I don't really see it as a loss for either team. But I will say though, if it comes out on Sunday or Monday that the Eagles got a fourth for him, I'm like, God damn, man! Like Philly already has, dude. Howie has so many draft picks for Philly's 2026 draft. It's absurd. Like I remember when Jalen Carter was being drafted and people were like, how did Philly get him? How did Philly get him? This upcoming draft in 2026 has those same vibes for me. It's like the league is giving a team, the league didn't give it. Howie Roseman made it happen, but the league basically let the Eagles acquire like all of this talent, and I think they're like one of the top 6 youngest teams in the NFL. They just came off a Super Bowl, so there's a lot. You know, I'm really excited about that. But at the end of the day, I see it as a win-win for both organizations. I really do, and I don't know how good San Francisco is going to be, but a couple teams that were good this last year in the NFC. I think you're going to see some of those other teams that we know are good in the NFC, like San Francisco, even the Cowboys, dude. The Cowboys with their coach, I don't know. I could see them just kind of giving some teams in the NFC some issues with the healthy Dak. But yeah, San Francisco is one of those teams I expect to be better, and they have a cupcake schedule. So who knows? Maybe Bryce Huff contributes massively, and he makes their defense a lot better. I mean, you know, if you're there's so much attention that's driven to Nick Bosa's side. I mean, there's only a couple teams that can just throw a right tackle on him or a left tackle on him and get away with it. But if you have another productive pass rusher, that could be pretty good for them, especially with their schedule, man. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what happens. Anyways, you know, let me know what you think, San Francisco fans, Philly fans, my boys. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a win-win for both teams and more draft picks for our birds. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, guys, I'm Audi. It's your boy Shady Luke. Catch you in the next one. Deuces.